I was very interested in seeing this movie after watching the trailer because I love a good murder mystery film when I can get my hands on one. And this movie is no clue by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a decent film by itself. I mean, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I really enjoyed what I was watching because you get to learn about Kenneth Branagh's character and how he's the greatest detective in the world, apparently. And it was a lot of fun for the first 10 to 15 minutes of it. But then the rest of the movie feels like a completely different film, in my opinion. But that aside, I still enjoyed the film. There's some really good performances in this, especially from Kenneth Branagh, who, in my opinion, owns this entire movie. He was phenomenal in this role, and he makes this entire movie for me. And he also directed the film as well. And this came with some interesting choices, which sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't, especially in the camera placement. There was a couple of times where I really wasn't sure what he was going for, and it kind of took me out of the moment a bit, but overall, he did a pretty good job directing this movie. There's some other notable performances as well. Josh Gad, out of all people, had a really good scene in this film. I really liked the emotion he was giving in that scene. And overall, this is a stellar cast, and they all had some really good performances with what they were given, because there wasn't a lot of depth to these characters. You don't dive in to get to know them a whole lot. Really, all you get to know about all these characters is what Kenneth Branagh's character uncovers while he's investigating this murder. And I found myself having to suspend my disbelief a couple of times in this film when Kenneth Branagh's character uncovers certain things about this film, because they seemed a little far-fetched at times. So I feel like the audience needs to be able to discover things on their own at some points, on some level. And I think that if they aren't able to do that, it cheapens the effect a bit. And I feel like the answers in the murder mystery need to be just as satisfying as the mystery itself. And the reveal at the end didn't hit me quite as hard. And that has to do with the fact that you weren't able to piece things on your own together, I feel. And I didn't know the characters in this film all that well. And I really wanted to get to know them a bit better. And I think the reveal at the end would have hit me harder had I been able to connect with these characters a bit more. And this isn't a terrible film. I was interested in seeing who the murderer was at the end. But the thing is that when you find the motivations of the killer, they aren't all that criminal, and you really end up not feeling too bad for the victim in this film. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but this is fiction. So in the end, this wasn't a great murder mystery, but it wasn't the worst. It's filled with some notable performances, especially from Kenneth Branagh, whose acting and directing makes this a watchable film. I wouldn't mind watching this movie again, but I'm not rushing out to see it again, so I'm giving Murder on the Orient Express 3 out of 5 stars. So now it's your turn. If you saw Murder on the Orient Express, let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like and share it. And to stay up to date on all the videos going up on this channel, the subscribe button is right there. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.